WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and on the WRUF mobile app.
Flushed out of the pocket, throws back in the end zone. It is knocked away!
Now, here's Kevin Winter.
And we welcome you into a Tuesday edition of the Sports Lab presented by Rally House. WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM. We continue our live and local coverage. For all you Gator sports fans, wherever you may be, driving around on this on this chilly Tuesday. Now, I say that, and yes, the guy from the north, whose blood still has not thinned out yet, says it's chilly. However, ladies and gentlemen, I will gladly take putting on a spring coat this morning when it was 37 when I get in my car to the pictures that my family has sent me from up north. And for my students who are James McDonald, he's a northerner, he's a New Yorker. He's here. All of our family members from the north. And for you snowbirds who are down here, your family members in the North remembers. Right now, the North wants to forget. They got blasted with snow. I don't know how many people in these parts have seen snow recently. I'm running into a lot of people who haven't. I mentioned when I was on the air yesterday that at the time, Providence, Rhode Island had 33 inches of snow. They finished with 38. They finished with more than 3 feet of snow yesterday. So there are many reasons that I am happy I am in Gainesville, Florida, and that I am part of all of you with Gator Nation. And a day like today is one of them. It may be chilly. It may be a little brisk, as they like to say. But I am not buried in shoveling out 3 feet of snow. Sledding is fun. Snowball fights are fun. By the way, the snow we got, you can't have snowball fights with it. All that stuff is fun. But nope. No, thank you. I quit. We're good with that. Here's what's on the agenda today. I want to go back to yesterday and answer a question from a caller who asked me about my anticipation level for Gator football and where we stand right now. That I will do. And I hope he calls back and asks the question. I remembered most of it. But it will tie into the anticipation level for all of you. I mean, look, Gator basketball is what it is right now. This team is rolling. And I have some questions for you regarding Gator basketball. Phone lines are open all day, 392-8255, 392-8255. And I'll ask you a couple of questions for hoops in a moment. But think about it. You've got the number 7 team in the country in basketball. Gator baseball's up to 10. I did not see the rankings yesterday for softball. Do you guys know off the top of your head? Softball 6? Imagine you go 19-0 to start the season, you remain undefeated, and you slip 2 spots. Okay, whatever. Because they were 4. Fine. You've got your major 3 sports, spring teams, are all in the top 10 of their respective AP rankings, whatever the ranking is, whoever it may be. Gymnastics is 4th. There we go. So gymnastics is 4th. So your top 4 spring sports, all 4 teams are ranked in the top 10. And I know you care about it, but I go back to something that I was told a year ago when I was talking about the job. And I was talking with someone here, and this person, who shall be remain nameless, says to me, yeah, when's football season start? And I found that funny. And I'm thinking, and maybe it's because I had worked for so long in an environment at ESPN where I just rolled through a sports season. I went through a football season, college and pro simultaneously, into a college basketball season, which really was college basketball for 2 weeks. The Jimmy V Classic and the State Farm Champions Classic. Back to college football for the bowl season because I ended my NFL regular season. I didn't do playoff games. I'd watch, but I didn't broadcast. So I would go football, both sides, into a little basketball on a Tuesday night, those 2 big tournaments. maybe back in the day we had the Maui Invitational over Thanksgiving. We would be part of that. We would all do Remy games, and we'd be broadcasting from wonderful Maui, Connecticut, which doesn't exist. Then I'd go to college bowl season. Now I'm into the NBA season. Then I'd take a trip out of the NBA for a moment to do the Big 12 or the ACC tournament. Then it's all NBA with a little bit of Major League Baseball opening day. Then it's baseball all summer long after the NBA finals are done. And then we're back to the cycle all over again. Like, that's how my sports calendar went. And I find it interesting that it's not like you just forget about the other down here, but it's always top of mind. And I think that's what the caller was getting at yesterday when he called up and he said, what is your anticipation level for this football season? Kevin Winter with you. It is the Sports Lab here on WRUF. The Sports Lab, of course, is presented by Rally House, 1680 West University Avenue. Your one-stop shop for all your officially licensed Gator game day gear. 1680 West University Avenue, just blocks from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Stop on in, say hello, check out their selection. It is utterly outrageous. Whatever you need, Rally House has it. I found it interesting. It got me thinking last night, and it reconstructed the conversation I had with someone who's now a boss to me here, and I work with, but he still is elevated above the chain on me, about when's Gator football. You are all looking forward to, like I am, swinging in or hearing about spring practice. All of you, I guarantee, are ready and have April 11th at noontime marked on your calendars. James McDonald, he already knows. As soon as I say April 11th, he knows because he's the beat writer for football for WRUF.com. You all know if I say April 11th at noontime, I'm not talking about the baseball game that I'm airing on RUF. It's the spring game that'll be airing on the Blowtorch. Because we're airing the spring football game. That's where I get a kick out of. But to answer the question honestly, I've always understood college towns like this, in the South especially, are football heavy and football is king. But the depth of the passion, the depth of the wanting to saturate yourself in it 24/7, 365, that is what hasn't taken aback or has surprised me is the wrong way to say it. But that's where if I have to tell an outsider what it's like, I don't think I can. Do you all feel that way? If you're out there and you have family from the north or family from other parts of the country where they just rotate sports seasons? Because I can't really explain good enough the passion or infatuation with football and college football around here. I had seen it and I get it. But I never lived it. And now I'm about to complete a cycle. I've got a couple more months to go before I've hit 1 year. Now I'm completing a cycle and I've lived it. And by the way, I'm not mentioning this for a good or bad reason. It's just something that was top of mind to me. Where it's an experience. And I think that's probably the best way to say it. It's an experience. And it's okay because where I came from, Red Sox fans, Yankee fans, have an unhealthy relationship with their teams. So I understand that passion. And I understand that angle. And I don't like calling it an unhealthy relationship because I'm new. I haven't seen the unhealthiness. Some of you who have been Gator fans for 30 to 40 years, you probably all say you have an unhealthy relationship with your team. By the way, that's called being a fan. Fan is short for fanatic. Curious your thoughts. 392-8255. 392-8255. Sports Lab presented by Rally House here on WRUF. Kevin Winter with you. Mortal Jim on our YouTube account at WRUF, home of the Gators. Yeah, I don't think people understand how passionate college football is down here. Like, even the NFL takes a back seat. Bingo. I was having this conversation with someone yesterday, our social media director, Justin Baxley. So our WRUF social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, we've got all of you guys to be part of that and follow us. And it's really blown up. And I applaud all of you for doing it and for helping us out. And I applaud everyone here at the CJC who had established something. And then Justin and I are trying to take it and blow it into a different direction, meaning blow it up big, make it bigger. We were thinking about covering, do we start in some of these off seasons? Do we want to maybe dive into a little bit of Jacksonville Jaguars or Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Miami Dolphins? Like, do we want to kind of focus on the 3 NFL teams? Mortal Jim, you're right. Like, I even see it. NFL is king for 90% of America, if not the world. And I say 90% because it's not king in Baton Rouge, in the let's call it the Chuck Oliver region. I think that may be a good way to say Chuck Oliver, the king of college football in the South. He's on it weeknights at 6 when I don't have a game. We carry the Chuck Oliver show. Chuck Oliver talked college football the day after the Super Bowl. How is that possible? But he did. So take the South, take maybe Austin, Texas, take Columbus, Ohio, Happy Valley, maybe, like small little pockets throughout here and there. And he's right. Those are the areas where college football dominates the NFL. Now, we all fall in love with the NFL, or we all will watch the NFL for 2 reasons. Number one, you're going to watch because you're going to probably play fantasy football with your friends, or you got Joey the Nose or Hard Rock Bet. And either one, I'm okay with that, right? But you're either going to gamble on it, or you're going to involve yourself in a contest, or you're going to have fantasy football. But the NFL angle compared to college, that's the one where what's the name of the Netflix show? Saturdays Down South. It works. And by the way, it's awesome. And think about it. It's Saturdays Down South. It doesn't say Saturdays in the fall down south. It's Saturdays Down South. And that's what I love. The passionate, and it works in other parts of the countries because you have those people who, the alumni base who've graduated from these universities, who then move on, wherever they may be with whatever job they're doing. They find a bar, a watering hole that's going to air, let's say, Florida football. So if they're in Wyoming, Saturday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, Mountain Time Zone, if we have a noon Eastern game, 10 o'clock, they're watching the game. And that's how they've planned their Saturdays, because they've always planned their Saturdays that way. Up north, you plan it by your Sundays. Saturday's the honeydew list. Sundays, you plan it for the NFL. And that's what I love. And I'm going to answer the caller's question, who carrying it over from yesterday. What am I most excited about for this season and compare it to last season? But I tied it all together because think about what the spring sports have offered us so far. Winter basketball and gymnastics kind of carry over into the spring, right? Think about where we're sitting at. Basketball 7, gymnastics 4, softball 6, baseball is 10. All at one school, huh? Doesn't track and field have the SEC championships coming up too? Tubbs, didn't you tell me when I first arrived last year, like the spring sports is where UF dominates? Just racks up trophies. I love it. I love it. Gator basketball is on the table for you. You have any conversations, questions? What scares you? Give me something that scares you for Gator basketball. 392-8255, 392-8255. Potpourri of things are on the table for all of you. We're off and running here on a Tuesday. Kevin Winter with you. It is the Sports Lab. We are presented by Rally House. Your phone calls, welcome all afternoon. Same as the comments on our YouTube account at WRUF, home of the Gators. That's all next here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, your home for Gator Sports.
WRUF Sports
I'm Miranda Vargas. Tonight, Gators baseball will play their first in a 2-game set against FIU at Condren Family Ballpark. The game starts at 6:30 with our coverage starting at 6:25. Looking forward, men's basketball is staying on the road as they face Texas at the Moody Center Wednesday. The Gators are coming off a win against Ole Miss 94-75, which helped them climb to number 7 in Monday's AP poll. Head coach Todd Golden spoke on the routine that has led to success on the road for the Gators.
On the road, we're pretty insulated. We keep it simple. We get here, we shoot, we go eat, we go to sleep, we wake up, and we get ready to play. And these guys have been ready, since the Missouri game in terms of competing on the road.
Tip-off is at 7 p.m. tomorrow. In other news, men's tennis fell to number 16 in the ITA rankings after losses to Georgia and Auburn, dropping 1 spot from last week. The team will travel to Kentucky to face the Wildcats on Friday.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and 0 weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO to 64,000.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wendy's has a new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion with Girl Scout Thin Mints cookie pieces, rich creamy frosty, and a mint chocolate cookie sauce. Which means Girl Scout Thin Mints and Wendy's Frosty, yeah, they're basically best friends now. It's like 2 delicious desserts just high-fived, snapped a few too many friendship selfies, and then rode a tandem bike down a never-ending road of mint chocolate frosty perfection. So, swing by Wendy's and try the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
It feels so good to be champions, and the Florida men's basketball team is back to defend their title. Show your pride by gearing up for game day at Rally House. Located at 1680 West University Ave, just across the street from campus, Rally House is your one-stop shop for all your authentically licensed Gator game day gear. Jerseys, hats, t-shirts, their selection is outrageous. 1680 West University Ave. Your city, your house, Rally House.
Live Oak International returns to Ocala for its 35th edition, March 12th through 15th. Come experience the thrilling combined driving and show jumping competitions, exciting dock dog competitions, and so much more. General admission, tailgating spots, and VIP experiences are available.
Kids under 6 are free.
Buy your tickets today at liveoakinternational.com.
Live Oak International is supported by Ocala, Marion County Visitors and Convention Bureau and the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association.
You've entered the Sports Lab with Kevin Winter, right here on WRUF.
Top for 3. Good. Boy, did he need that. Now into the post, Virginia Lou. Big to big. The Condon goes to the rim and punches home a right-hand dunk. Alex draws a double, dribbles away from it. Throw up top, tip by Lee to the right wing. Houck for 3. Oh, wow. What a possession. Baumjar thought about a deep 3, dribbles to the right wing, now launches a 3, and liked it, and we do too. Lee to the left wing, Flan for 3, got it. Drives down the right side of the lane, contact, shoots, scores off the glass. That's a possible and 1 for Alex Condon. Goes a skip pass wing right, Lee steps right for 3, bang, got it with 1.8 on the shot clock. We'll hand it to Houck, same spot, over the left wing, pass for Lee. Lee drives under the rim, jump pass into Flan, right corner 3, good. Boogie Flan was 1 for 21 from downtown his last 9 games. Today's 2 for 5. Long pass to Boogie, wing left for 3. How about another one for Boogie Flan? Third three of the day.
Yeah, look who got going the other day, baby. Kevin Winter with you. It is the Sports Lab presented by Rally House here on WRUF. By the way, is there a song out there that defines the 90s maybe more than Biggie Smalls' Hypnotize? That's a conversation we can have over the summer when we have nothing to talk about. We can go through like your favorite 90s songs. I got no problem doing that show. I absolutely will do that show. Because guess what? Most of you listeners are the same age as me. But, I mean, I know this. A comedian is right. You play Biggie Smalls in a club, it still shuts the club down to this day. Now, I noticed I had to play the instrumental version there. Wasn't going to take that risk with the actual lyrics. Didn't think that was a good idea. Kevin Winter with you, Sports Lab, presented by Rally House here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM. College basketball on the table, college football, general college football questions. I will mention what I'm looking forward to the most and the difference, in my opinion, for the last 8 months from when I first arrived to where we are at now with just the anticipation level of this season. Out to the calls we go with you, 392-8255, 392-8255. We kick it off with Joe. Hi, Joe. You're up on the Sports Lab presented by Rally House with Kevin Winter. How are you?
Hey, good. I was just, did you catch the Houston-Kansas game last night?
I did catch that game.
What did you think about Darryn Peterson's performance?
Darryn Peterson, there are times he is a special talent, and you look at Darryn Peterson and you say, now I know why the scouts love him. There are times I will say to myself, I got no problem if I'm facing Darryn Peterson in the NCAA tournament. I'm not worried. Does that make sense?
Last night, it was not one of his better games, I guess. But
5 of 14 from the floor, 2 for 7 from beyond the arc. Joe, in a night when Kansas has a chance to make a statement, and they do, beating Houston by 13, Peterson has 14 points in 30 minutes. Now, if I'm Bill Self, I'm thinking, okay, we're good. Peterson had an off night, and we still beat one of the best teams.
That's my point. He can bring a lot, but he's not the only dimension of that team.
I agree with that. I also will say this, and I think, Joe, you're triggering something for me in my memory, that Bill Self, during the time when Darryn Peterson was really taking time off at the beginning of the year or like in the non-conference schedule, Bill Self said, I don't want to put a kid out there in Darryn Peterson who may try to do too much while we're trying to figure out who we are as a team. And it's like Bill Self decided, I'm going to establish the other 7 guys because they only played 8 actually, let me phrase this. They only played 7. I'm not going to count the 1 minute for the other kid. So Bill Self's team isn't deep. So he has 6 other guys that he can rely on besides Darryn Peterson. And then it's a matter of where does Peterson fit in?
I mean, I don't think that he hurt them yesterday. That's not my point.
Right.
But now Houston, on a 2-game losing streak, do you think they'll drop a lot, maybe a place or two?
All right, so, and this is where it's going to get funky, Joe, because teams right now, it's going to be hard to decide. Yes, Houston will drop. Let's just get that answer out of the way right now. Houston will drop. They've lost to Kansas and Arizona in back-to-back games, including one of them at home.
Both good teams.
Yes, and this is where the Big 12 is going to cannibalize itself in the Big 12 tournament. So this is where if the Gators run the table in the regular season and go 3-0 in the SEC tournament, that 2 line is not out of the question because only one team can win the Big 12, and you've got Arizona, Houston, and Iowa State along with Kansas. But really, let's go those top 3, Arizona, Houston, and Iowa State. Only one of them can get the Big 12 championship.
And for Houston, who is their signature win?
That's an interesting. I'm pulling up their schedule right now, and I'll flip through it real quick. Well, they lost against Tennessee. Other than that, right now, What? You beat a Texas Tech team, which was a hell of a game when JT Toppin was healthy. You then lost to Texas Tech. So your signature win, and by the way, that's 3 straight losses for Houston because remember, they lost to Iowa State last week. So it's Iowa State, Arizona, and Houston they've lost to in a row. 3 straight games.
Not bad teams, but 3 in a row is you need. If you're a Houston fan, which I'm not,
right,
you need to win one of those 2.
Yeah. All right.
Or one of those 3.
So, I mean, look, the point being, and I'm going to view it from the Gator perspective in the orange and blue glasses. You run the table in the regular season, take care of your business, win the SEC tournament. The 2 line the 2 line should be a lock at that point, and then it's a matter of who falls where. Could you sneak into a 1 seed? Because I didn't think the 1 line was open, but with Houston plummeting, maybe. And I'm curious. And also, Joe, this depends on when Arizona gets Koa Pete back.
I would love to see him for a one line, but I can't. The math in my mind doesn't work.
It's a stretch. I appreciate it. All right, Joe. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. 392-8255. 392-8255. Phone lines are open. Let's talk some college basketball. I want to grab Elijah. You're up next. You're in the Sports Lab, presented by Rally House. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Kevin?
Good, brother.
I wanted to start and say that football may be king, but spring has that depth of sports, especially because I love softball and baseball and pitching and all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think spring is so much more fun, even though football is my favorite sport.
That makes sense. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that.
And then for men's basketball, I think a lot of people were a little worried about Chinny Lou's performance against Ole Miss. But I think a better way to look at it is not that necessarily had a bad game, but they had to focus so much on containing Chinny Lou that Condon and Houck and Lee and Boogie were all able to do much more.
All right, so
because they had to put so much energy into Chinny Lou.
They did. And now I'm going to bring this to the equation. At some point on Saturday in the second half, it was early in the second half, Sean Kelly and Brian Hogan noted on the radio broadcast, Carlin Hartman was going to pull Ruben Chinny out of the game. He was not happy with Ruben, which is why I think a lot of people were wondering, okay, what happened here? Now, I don't know the inner workings of why maybe he wanted to talk to him about one defensive set, one offensive play, and he just said, the hell with it, get him out of the game, let me have a conversation with him. That can happen. Or he wasn't happy with the effort. I remember Sean on Saturday said, Ruben doesn't look right. The aggressiveness that Ruben has, usually in the ferociousness of going after the rebounds, wasn't there. Your point is valid because they put so much energy into making sure Ruben was not the one who beat them. Does that all make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
And I guess my last thing is my fear for this team, and this is not a knock on Condon in any manner, but I think how far this team can go will end up coming down to Condon, because I think you have to put so much energy into making sure that Ha and Chinny Lou aren't doing what they're doing, and I think if Condon has a game like he did against Auburn, where he's only putting up 1 point in 33 minutes or whatever it was, you're not going to go very far.
No.
I think our guard play is it's come along to be good enough. And I think Condon is the X factor right now.
All right. It's an interesting one. I'll explore that one in a moment. Elijah, appreciate the call. 392-8255. 392-8255. Condon as being the X factor. I can buy that. I'm going to marinate on that one for a moment. I'm going to let that one sink in. Because my gut reaction is he's not far off. But also the guy I've watched the last 2 games, yeah, you're the X factor in a positive way. You can help carry this team. You have found an offense that was just completely on the side of a milk carton for a large portion of the year, where you didn't know what to do or how to operate. I can buy that. I really can. And the beauty for Condon is when he wasn't scoring, he was still contributing in other ways. I'm going to give you one negative side for Condo. The turnovers. You cannot be having 6 turnovers in an NCAA tournament game as a big. You can't be having 6 turnovers in a tournament game as whoever you are. You're not going to get away with a win, especially in rounds 2 or later, with 4, 5, 6, 7 turnovers as an individual. Like that 19 turnover performance against Ole Miss, no bueno. Like that cannot happen. And I'm sure Todd, it would not surprise me tomorrow night if our turnovers are in the single digits because that gets hammered home. Let's continue to talk about the X Factors. 392-8255, 392-8255. Mike, you're up next on the Sports Lab presented by Rally House here on WRUF. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing, buddy?
Good, man.
Yeah, I think Houston's lost 3 in a row now, right?
They have, yes. 3 in a row. Iowa State, Arizona, Kansas. Now, this almost, Mike, I'm going to equate this to us at the beginning of the year. Houston has lost to the then number 6 team of the country, the then number 4 team of the country, and the number 14 team of the country. It's like a step below, right behind the ladder of what we did at the beginning of the year, losing to 1, 3, and 4 in some combination between Arizona, UConn, and Duke, right?
Yeah, and we dropped like a lead balloon when that happened.
Fact.
We absolutely
did.
Yeah. So there's something funny going on. Houston, the first of last year, lost 3 in a row to begin the season, 1 to an unranked team, and they never dropped. They lost 2 in a row before last night and stayed number 4 in the coaches poll. For some reason, they're the darling that can lose multiple games in a row and not drop. Florida loses 3 games by just a couple points and drops all the way down to about 25.
We actually, hang on, Mike. Yeah. Remember, Mike, we fell out of the top 25.
Yeah,
we were unranked going into one of those games.
I'm glad they have Ken Palm and some of these other things because I believe the AP and the coaches poll. I think there's a backlash against the SEC this year. I think they're on purpose because of what happened last year. They're holding down teams like Tennessee and Alabama, which I think could beat almost every team in the top 10. It looks like there's a little jealousy. And Florida had to work their way back up when Houston loses 3 in a row and doesn't even drop.
Well, so hang on. I want to, and I'm going to let you go for your other, if you have an overriding point. But I want to take that angle right there. I'm not sure about our depth in the SEC this year. And I say this, Mike, because think about it. Alabama is one of the quote unquote upper echelon teams. Well, we blasted them. Tennessee, quote unquote upper echelon team. What did we do? We blasted them. We blasted.
We're so good.
Okay. No, and that's what I was getting at. Are we that good, or are they just not at our level? And where are we in the hierarchy in the pecking order? And so that's kind of why I'm trying to balance, but I'm also trying to picture a Tennessee versus an Iowa State. I'm trying to picture an Alabama versus an Arizona.
Nebraska.
And Nebraska. Or go to the Big Ten. A Nebraska, a Purdue, a Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to picture those matchups and how they would go.
You know, the SEC has, right now, as it stands, has more teams in the tournament than any other conference. They have 11.
Yes.
So, as bad as the SEC supposedly is this year, Ken Palm still has them rated as the top conference.
Right. And I checked, Joe Lenardi has updated his bracketology. It's on ESPN.com. I think he's got the SEC with 10 and the Big Ten with 10.
Okay. Well,
yeah. So Mike, you're 100. Look, you're in the ballpark. I am not even saying that, arguing with you on that side.
And I got to agree with you about Condon. The only thing that worries me is his turnovers.
Yeah.
If you double him, he's got to get stronger with his hands. He's got to get make better decisions. He panics and throws the ball away too much or gets it stripped. He can't do that in the tournament. He just can't.
The one thing that annoys me. I agree. Mike, appreciate the comment. You be well.
All
right. 392-8255, 392-8255. I started watching in the beginning of the year between Condon, even Rubin to a smaller extent, how many times our bigs in traffic would bring the ball below or at their waist. I remember I had a high school coach who we had a couple of bigs who would do that, and he'd grab like the smallest guys. We had one kid on our team we called Dot. Like he was a short kid. We just called him Dot. He was like the dotting of the eye. And he put the big kid put the ball down by around his waist, and here comes little Dot, and Dot smacks the ball away. And it's like, this is why you don't bring the ball down. Condon has gotten away from doing that. And if you look and watch, less turnovers. And the funny thing is, we had 19 as a team the other day, and Condo only had 1. Lee had the 4 turnovers the other day. Granted, he also had 10 assists. So it's like, what are we doing? I want to bring up and bring back, maybe question his fears or things that could kind of derail this. I think there's plenty things to have on our horizon as things we got to worry about. Let's talk about that coming up next. Porter, hang on the line. Bill, hang on the line as well. 392-8255, 392-8255. Comments up and available on our YouTube account at WRUF, Home of the Gators. Don't forget, click the subscribe button. You can get alerts anytime we have brand new content posted on our YouTube page by clicking subscribe to at WRUF, Home of the Gators. We're halfway home. Nope, more than halfway home. Here on the Sports Lab, presented by Rally House on a Tuesday afternoon. Kevin Winter with you on WRUF, your home of the Gator Sports.
March Madness is coming to WRUF.
Dave Mays Automotive, we get the bugs out of your car.
Spring is in the air, and if you're like most people, you're thinking about all your plans, spring cleaning, and of course, any trips you'll be taking. What you're not thinking about is your vehicle breaking down. And I have good news, you don't have to. Steve Russell here, you don't have to worry about your vehicle breaking down because at Dave Mays Automotive, they do their famous bug check every time you take your vehicle in for oil changes, AC, tire and brake work, or anything else. With their bug check, they go over your entire car and let you know if there's anything you need to plan for. And as we all know, knowledge is power. I trust Dave Mays Automotive, and so have generations of families since 1975. Located at 2905 Northeast 19th Drive in the industrial complex behind the Sunnies on Waldo Road. Online at DaveMaysAutomotive.com. Dave Mays Automotive, they get the bugs out.
Dave Mays Automotive, we get the bugs, all of them bugs, out of your car.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, you, with the shopping cart. It's us, Leafy Greens.
Leafy what?
Greens. Delicious, locally grown leafy green vegetables. I'm romaine. This is arugula.
Hello.
Spinach.
Ahoy.
Escarole and endive.
Bonjour. Oh, yeah, the sandwich guys.
Oh, we're more than just a sandwich layer.
We add crunch to salads.
Flavor to soups. And a little je ne sais quoi to your pasta dishes.
That is, if you let us. For meals with personality, look for the Sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop.
You've entered the Sports Lab with Kevin Winter, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
392-8255, 392-8255 is the telephone number to call. A little mellow chill, Space Jam style. Certainly does. Sports Lab presented by Rally House here on WRUF. Porter, you're up next here on the Sports Lab. Hi, Porter. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Kevin.
What's happening?
You have me?
I got you.
I didn't hear that telltale beep sound.
I know. I'm training everyone not to get it on the air, so everyone doesn't hear us when we have the telltale beep sound. It's okay.
Yeah, okay, cool. I wondered how much of our moving up 5 spots in the rankings is specifically because of what we did, which was not one of our most impressive weeks. How much of it was because of what other teams did losing, which really, I don't think that was a lot of it. And how much of it was finally getting credit for the tough losses that we had earlier in the year?
Honestly, Porter, D, all the above. I say that because we had a week, and this is why I keep saying the Big 12 is going to cannibalize itself, right? The Big 12 is going to cannibalize itself to an extent, almost like the SEC does in football, just not with the same repercussions, because in basketball you get 68 into the tournament, but football you don't get that. So I think because of all the losses and the shakes up in the Big 12, you had a couple of other teams lose along the way, and then we now have what? We have 21 wins on the season. Porter, I think either 17 or 18 of them are by 13 points or more. It's not just that we're beating teams, we're bludgeoning teams. And I think that is what is getting everyone's attention now.
I forgot the fourth reason, how much of it was because they released the seeds, and they had us as the number 1 3 seed, so basically number 8.
Okay, hang on. I like that. So I was thinking about that too, Porter, where all of a sudden, if you're looking at the seeds from the NCAA tournament, and you're the Associated Press, you're an Associated Press writer, right? And the NCAA selection committee on Saturday afternoon at about 1 o'clock has us listed as a 9 seed. And you're some dimwit Joe Schmo, almost got caught there, some dimwit Joe Schmo who's voting us 14th, you might want to reconsider yourself, wouldn't you? That's a great point by you, Porter. Well done. Good job.
One last thing. Have you seen Miracle? I think is what it's called, but not the one that everybody had. I stumbled across it
on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Miracle. The Boys of 80. Porter, it is awesome. The Boys of 80. It is incredible. I've seen it. All right, see you, pal.
I want to pass that along.
You got it. Bye. 392-8255. 392-8255. Andrew. By the way, speaking of which, Miracle Boys of 80. If you have not seen it, do it and do yourself a favor, and then hope we get another one coming off of this past Olympics. Hello, Andrew. You're next to the Sports Lab presented by Rally House.
Okay, I'd like to dish out a compliment first, Kevin.
Okay.
To you.
Thank you.
I want to apologize because there's sometimes, I don't understand fully what your job entails, and you're not just a guy sitting down behind a mic every now and again. You're in a really complex position.
Yes.
You do a multiplicity of things for UF. Of course, we all appreciate it. And sometimes when you bring things up and you haven't had a chance to look into them, I like that you're honest and say so, but I'm going to kind of take that into consideration with some of the topics I talk about, because you are stretched out pretty good there, Kevin. And anyway...
Andrew, it's one reason why on Saturday or Sunday morning, if given the opportunity, I have the phone on Do Not Disturb, I have a beer in hand, and I'm on a golf course. Okay? I want 5 hours alone, and if I can get a day, I'm going to get a day, and I'm going to have a day for myself, and I may not be of service to you by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But we're all entitled to one of those, pal.
God bless. Okay, onward to the Gators. I think what I'm a little bit leery of here is that if I had asked the question, what's one during the regular season?
Yep.
With the games we have remaining, what's one particular stop we're going to make that could possibly just put such a great ending to right now, kind of like a team that's playing kind of, iffy with a lot of questions, and they play at a place called Rupp Arena. What do you think about that?
All right, so if you're going by games, I'm actually more concerned about tomorrow night, and we'll talk a lot about that tomorrow, than I would be about going to Rupp. I would anticipate, I think coming into the season, I even anticipated getting a split between Florida, Kentucky, in each team won their home games. And it's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
A good team will go into Moody Center tomorrow night and take care of business. Andrew, when I mentioned something that scares me about this team, at the beginning of the year, I would have put free throw shooting. We were an awful free throw shooting team, weren't we? Or not awful. We weren't. We were poor. Let's go poor. Now and I'm leaving the proverbial nuclear option of what could derail this run, and everyone knows that word starts with I. It's the same thing that's happened to Koa Pete, JT Toppin, and Richie Saunders. It's an injury. An injury is the nuclear option that derails this whole thing. But if I'm actually going for just something on the court, beginning of the year, it would be not hitting our free throws. And go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, and now it's, I wonder, is getting beat at our own game. A team that wants to jam it down and try to play bully ball with us, okay, or a team that presses us and takes us out of our rhythm.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew.
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
Here's
Give me yours.
I like to leave you with this. Here's a big test I see.
Yeah.
If we happen to be off offensively, and it can happen to anybody, will we still, and I repeat, will we still play elite defense, especially under the rim?
Yes.
So take care.
All right, see you, pal. Yes, we will. You want to know why? Defense is the calling card of Todd Golden. Defense is the calling card of this team, and defense travels. All defense takes is effort. That's all it does. It doesn't take you being hot that one day. Defense takes effort. Defense takes effort and energy. And this team likes expending it. Also, this team feeds off one another. I want to get this call on the air because I think I heard this gentleman call in yesterday to the tailgate. Craig, it's Kevin Winter in the Sports Lab presented by Rally House. How are you, sir?
Good, man. Kevin, good to talk with you. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, I was watching a Sports Lab.
Yes.
With, I think the young lady's name was Macy Meek.
That is correct.
By the way, you're doing a great job with her, man. She was really top notch. But she was wearing a sweatshirt. It was a Gator blue, long sleeve, and it had the orange Gator script. And by the way, it was not me that called yesterday.
Oh, okay. So you're the second person who's looking for this shirt.
Yeah. So it had this Gator script that said "Get some," and I'm wondering where do you get those shirts?
All right. So hang on, I'm going to give you the answer because when I heard this caller yesterday, not you, Craig, and I apologize for assuming. You know what happens when you assume.
No.
When I texted her, I said, all right, I need to know where you got the shirt. Her father was in town because his fraternity had an event this past weekend, and her father's fraternity brothers made the shirt for the weekend.
Really?
Yes. Now, I don't know if we start needing to go around to Rally House and say, hey, Rally House, look what I've got available, and look what we can do. You might want to make this shirt, but I got to see if I can get the permission. I don't know if anyone's got "Get Some" copywritten yet.
Okay.
So honestly, the short answer, Craig, they made the shirt themselves. But I've noticed it is getting a lot of traction around here. So we may have to go into side business together. I got to run, Craig. Appreciate it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Appreciate it. 392-8255, 392-8255. One more phone call before I got to get out of here on a Tuesday afternoon. Andrew, you're up next. Not the old Andrew, a new Andrew. Hi, Andrew. It's the Sports Lab presented by Rally House.
Yeah, I was curious. The rankings, I hate to poo-poo it, but do they really matter when it gets to a tournament? I mean, 3, 4, 2. I mean, does it really matter?
Seeding. Seeding does and you need to project in your region which teams you're going to be facing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but, I mean, right off the bat, the second game, you got a tough game right away, no matter what seeding you got.
You will have a tough game, but what matchup will you have? And what I'm saying, Andrew, is let's say you got a team who can shoot the lights out. Rob Russo, who's on the Sports Lab, he and I were going through this earlier. If we're in the same region as St. Louis, Rob Russo said to me, when he's on this week, he's probably going to go on a tangent about this. He does not want to face St. Louis because St. Louis is going to chuck 33s.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of matchup I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
What about, do they give you a better spot, too? Does that help? Will they give you, like, Tampa or something?
All right, so we were having this conversation as well. Andrew, got to let you run. Appreciate it. I'll give you the answer off the air. They most likely, as long as you remain a 3, if you even go up to a 2, the Gators will be heading to Tampa in all likelihood. I cannot guarantee it. But they're going to try to put teams together in you're going to put the 1 seeds in a spot closest to their home. You then go to the 2 seeds. Where can we fit the 2 seeds? You can start mixing and matching in there. And please remember, everyone, come Selection Sunday, there could be 2 2s and maybe a 6 into 5 playing in Tampa. It doesn't have to be 116, 215, 314, all in the same building. You can have a variety of teams in certain regions in buildings in round 1 and round 2. Because then they adjust for the regional final. I hope that makes sense to everyone. All right, I got to run. I got Rodriguez and Nick Abreu coming up next. Been a lot of fun with you guys. Sports Lab presented by Rally House here on WRUF, your home of the Gators.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Kate Bjorn. Gators baseball hosts FIU tonight after this weekend's 3-game series sweep. The Gators' performance against Kennesaw State bumped the team up to number 10 in the D1 baseball rankings. The FIU Panthers are coming off a 4-game win streak. Coverage starts right here on WRUF at 6:25 p.m. Over on the hardwood, number 7 Florida men's basketball secured the win in Oxford this past Saturday. The Gators head back on the road tomorrow to face the Texas Longhorns. Forward Alex Condon talked about using the game as an opportunity to find confidence.
Growing with confidence every game. I feel like I've done a better job the last few games, just like not worrying about the result of my performance or whatever, just going out there and hooping and just doing what I do best. I put so much hard work in and just trusting in the process.
Tomorrow night's tip-off is at 7 p.m.
Hi, this is Dr. Art Mowry of Exceptional Dentistry. Listen to what our clients have to say about their experience at Exceptional Dentistry.
The quality of work or quality of care that you get when you come here, from the minute you walk in the door to the receptionist greeting you and just the friendly atmosphere. I mean, I've been coming here 11 years. It's like family. It really is. Except this is a better family than mine. 99% of the time,